So our topic is, the 7 whys. I'm curious to know how does the exercise sort of play in with the 7 whys? We sort of started that
Sure.
discussion a little bit earlier, but you know, how how does it either enhance it or play into it, or could you explain a little bit the
Sure.
background of
Sure.
of
Let
the
me let
exercise?
me let me let me set that up as a tie-in. Every great conversation starts with a question. Now
Mhm.
there's a guy on the internet. His name is Mark Hunter, who's a sales expert. That's his background, and he's identified in one of his podcasts that there are three kinds of questions you can ask. Okay, one kind of question is a question that you know the answer to, but the other person doesn't.
Mm.
So, for example, if I tell you, did you know that only one third of all employees actually care about the work they do? Well, you would say, no, I didn't know that. And I would say, aren't you impressed that I did know that? And that's the
Mhm.
end of that conversation. So,
Yeah.
so that's common. I mean, if you're trying to sell somebody something, you'll start often with a question that you already know the answer to because you're doing a little bit of bragging, right?
Hmm.
That's level one. And he said, that's not going to get you very far because it's a dead end. That's a dead end question. The answer is pointless. So the second kind of question is, well, then you can ask the person you're trying to convince or sell a question that they know the answer to, but you don't.
Mm.
And his favorite for that one was, well, maybe you could tell me what it is to keep you up at night,
Mm.
which is like the number one sales question for rookie salespeople, right?
Right.
And then they'll usually share that with you. But if you don't have a really good place to put that answer and you can't really respect the answer they give you, that's not going to go anywhere.
Mm.
So his point was, and he said, I know it's difficult. I know this is hard, but the really, really great questions in life are questions that neither the person who asks it nor the person it is asked of know the answer to.
Mm.
Those are the really great questions. And if you ask those questions in a way that respects the importance of the answer, both parties buy into the importance of finding the answer.
Wow.
And we agree it's a good idea for us to work together on that. In other words, I'm not testing you by asking you this question. It's not like I have an answer in my head that I'm going to compare yours to. And at the same time, I'm asking you this question and you're not being judged by your answer. So you should be able to just sort of answer it, even
Mm.
if the answer is incomplete. Let's work
Right.
on that answer together. All answers that come back are incomplete. The purpose of the 7 whys is to complete an answer that you begin with the first.
Mm.
Start getting an answer early on, but that's an approximate. In order to really close the gap between the question you're asking and the truth you're seeking, you really need to keep diving deeper and deeper and deeper. Now, one of the things I learned working at NBC is that your typical television viewer doesn't actually go in for a lot of deep diving.
Hmm.
I mean, your typical
Yeah.
television viewer doesn't really think that way.
Right.
So, what you have to do is kind of engage them in something deeper without them ever knowing that you're doing that.
Sure.
And that is the essence of successful commercial television. And there's a model for it. There's a
Wow.
system that I'm willing to now that my non-disclosure agreement is I'm willing to explain it.
Thankfully.
And after I've
Yeah.
explained it to you, you're gonna know every television show that you watch and why you like watching it.
Wow.
I mean, you're going to understand. And yeah, I have to tell you, the commercial value of this is at NBC, and this drove the other networks crazy. When I was at NBC would have to produce, let's say, 10 pilot television programs to find a hit. Everybody else had to produce 90.
Wow.
So
Wow.
CBS would have to make 90 programs to find one worth watching. NBC could do it with just 10. And if
Wow.
it takes $2 or $3 million to make a pilot, which it did, probably way more now, you're saving a whole lot of money and getting better products that are more engaging on the air
Sure.
quicker if you do it the way we did it.
Hmm.
And that is essentially the model I'm using these days in the brand and culture alignment toolkit.
Wow.
So whenever you're ready, I will walk you through this process.
Yeah. Do
Yeah.
people need a pen and paper? Like, what do we?
No. Remember, your typical television viewer doesn't take notes in front of a
That
television.
is true.
That is
I'm
true.
not your typical television viewer, though.
Here we go. You ready?
I'm going to be monitoring the comments because I want to see how everybody also reacts to this. So,
Good.
guys, blow up the comments now because you're getting a secret that has been proven why people are watching TV.
It
so
is. It
Al
is the
is going to
secret to a
explode it right
successful
now.
television. If you're in the television business, it's a funny story too. But I'll tell you a funny side story because I'm about to tell you what the model is, right? And the model is ridiculously simple, but you'll be amazed by it.